Let me ask you something real. Why is it that two people can start from the same place, same neighborhood, same school, same opportunities, but 10 years later, one is financially free and the other is still stuck, surviving paycheck to paycheck? Is it luck, connections, talent, or is it something deeper? Today, we're breaking down the real difference, not between rich people and poor people, but between a rich mind and a poor mind. Because wealth doesn't start in your bank account. It starts in your psychology. And once you see these patterns, you'll never look at money the same way again. Section 1. Wealth is psychological before it's financial. Most people think money is about math. Income minus expenses, assets minus liabilities. But psychology studies show something deeper. Research in behavioral economics, especially the work of Daniel Kahneman and Richard Thaler, shows that financial decisions are driven more by emotion and cognitive bias than logic. In simple terms, people don't struggle financially because they're bad at math. They struggle because of how they think. A rich mind asks, how can I grow this? A poor mind asks, how can I spend this? That small shift changes everything. Section 2. Scarcity versus abundance thinking. The poor mind operates from scarcity. Scarcity says, there's not enough. If they win, I lose. Money is hard to make. Opportunities are rare. Psychologists call this scarcity mindset theory. When someone feels resources are limited, their brain narrows its focus. They make short-term decisions. They prioritize immediate relief over long-term gain. This is why someone might spend a tax refund instantly, avoid investing because it feels risky, stay in a low-paying job because it feels safe. Scarcity creates tunnel vision. Now compare that to a rich mind. Abundance thinking says, there's always another opportunity. I can create value. Skills can be learned. Money flows where value flows. An abundant thinker sees setbacks as temporary. A scarcity thinker sees them as identity. One says, I failed. The other says, that strategy failed. Huge difference. Section 3. Consumption versus creation. Here's a harsh truth. Poor mind psychology focuses on consumption. New phone, new car, new clothes, status upgrades before income upgrades. It's driven by social comparison. Studies show that humans are wired to compete socially. We want to signal status, but the rich mind delays signaling. Instead of asking, how do I look rich? They ask, how do I become valuable? Poor mind buys liabilities to feel successful. Rich mind buys assets to become successful. And this doesn't mean someone is lazy or unintelligent. It means their brain is prioritizing validation over value creation. That's psychological. Section 4. Time perspective. This is one of the biggest differences. Psychologists divide people into short-term and long-term thinkers. The poor mind is future blind. It wants comfort now, relief now, reward now, impulse purchases, high-interest debt, no savings buffer. It's not stupidity. It's emotional regulation. Research shows that delayed gratification is strongly linked to long-term financial success. The famous Stanford marshmallow experiment revealed something powerful. Children who could delay reward ended up with better life outcomes decades later. The rich mind trains delayed gratification. They invest instead of splurge. They build instead of show. They sacrifice today for freedom tomorrow. It's not about deprivation. It's about vision. Section 5. Relationship with risk. Poor mind fears risk. Rich mind calculates risk. There's a difference. Scarcity psychology exaggerates potential loss. Abundant psychology weighs potential gain. Someone with a poor mind says, what if I lose money? Someone with a rich mind says, what if I don't try? They understand that staying still is also risky. Not investing is risky. Not learning new skills is risky. Relying on one income source is risky. But here's the key. Rich mind doesn't gamble blindly. They reduce risk through education, mentorship, diversification, data. Poor mind avoids risk completely, and avoidance is expensive. Section 6. Identity and self-concept. This is where it gets deep. Most people earn in alignment with their identity. If someone subconsciously believes, people like me don't get rich, rich people are greedy, money changes you, their brain will sabotage opportunities. Psychologists call this self-concept alignment. You don't outperform your identity for long. If you think wealth is bad, you will unconsciously reject it. The rich mind sees money as neutral. Money amplifies character. It doesn't create it. And when someone believes they are capable, adaptable, and worthy of growth, their behavior follows. Section 7. Blame vs. responsibility. Poor mind blames the economy, the government, their boss, their parents, and yes, sometimes those factors are real. But the rich mind asks, what is in my control? Locus of control theory explains this clearly. People with an internal locus of control believe their actions influence outcomes. People with an external locus believe life happens to them. Wealth is strongly correlated with internal locus of control, not because life is fair, but because responsibility creates action. Blame creates stagnation. Section 8. learning vs defending ego. Poor mind defends ego. I already know that. That won't work. That's for lucky people. Rich mind studies, reads, invests in knowledge, learns from failure. Most wealthy individuals are obsessive learners, not because they're geniuses, but because they know skills compound. Income rarely exceeds skill level for long, so they build skill relentlessly. Section 9. Emotional control. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Money problems are often emotional problems. Impulse control, fear, comparison, shame. A poor mind reacts emotionally. A rich mind responds strategically. When markets crash, poor mind panics. Rich mind analyzes. When business slows, poor mind quits. Rich mind adapts. Emotional regulation is wealth regulation. Section 10. The shift. Now here's the part most people don't want to hear. You can have little money and still have a rich mind. And you can have millions and still think poor. This isn't about your bank balance. It's about your patterns. Ask yourself, do I spend to impress or invest to grow? Do I avoid risk or learn to manage it? Do I blame or take ownership? Do I think short term or build long term? Your answers reveal your psychology, and psychology is trainable. Neuroplasticity proves that thinking patterns can change, habits can change, identity can change, but only if you become aware of them first. The difference between a rich mind and a poor mind is subtle. It's not loud, it's not flashy, it's in daily choices, tiny financial decisions, tiny learning decisions, tiny discipline decisions, compounded over years. Wealth is rarely accidental, it's psychological architecture. And the question isn't, are you rich or poor? The real question is, which mind are you feeding every day? If this video made you think, subscribe to Unfiltered Mind Decoded. Because we don't just talk about success, we decode the psychology behind it. And once you understand the mind, you can change the outcome.